We had a tire get loose on pit road, and that's brought the caution out.
Yeah, they've had to waive the caution because a mechanic walked out halfway out to the racing surface to get it. It's from Marcus Ambrose's car.
I'm going to tell you what, NASCAR is not going to be happy with that crew member at all. He was halfway across the infield grass.
Larry, he wasn't 70 feet from the racing surface when he went out to retrieve that tire.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Just bad judgment. He thought he was
there
probably.
You see the tire
he
right
was
there.
doing a good thing. We saw the tire rolling out there.
You can see it's halfway across that grass.
He's thinking it's going to roll out in the racetrack, so I think he was obviously wasn't thinking clearly enough to know not to do that, but still he probably thought he was doing a good thing by retrieving it.
Well, back in the 60s, photographers used to stand in that grass to shoot pictures of the race cars going around. That was a long time ago. When Edwards exited his pit, he had to stop. He stopped in the middle of Brendan Gaughan's pit as Gaughan was coming in. And you see there's still something amiss there.
They were making a wedge adjustment in the left rear, and you'll see right here when the jack drops, it's Carl's sign to leave, and the crew member's trying to get it out of the back window, but just doesn't do it. I mean, that's as much of an effort as you can give as a crew member trying to get that wrench out.
I wonder, Andy Petrie, would taking equipment out of the box include dragging a crewman out of the box?
Justin's been very happy with this race car. They will change 4 Goodyear tires. They will fill it full of Sunoco fuel. The long drive down, and now a little less chaotic as they will get to the car without incident and get Justin in and back out. He is over the line, so he's going to have to cruise back just a little bit. So another mistake on pit road today.
Marty, William Byron gives up the second position to come down pit road. So with this Sunoco fuel and these 4 Goodyear tires, they can make it to the end of the race here. Going to be interesting to see if he can keep the strategy. Joey Logano also leaves pit road. He said he needs more grip in turn 2, and a little bit of an issue there on pit road.
The 7 has had an absolute disaster. We talked about trying to get to pit road, get the strategy, get track position. Well, he has basically given all that up with a mistake. You see the right front tire is loose. It's probably going to come off the race car, which is going to be a penalty.
Jeff Gordon says we were absolutely struggling back in traffic. They made a track bar adjustment. His car still absolutely on the tight side.
And as anticipated, Mark Martin couldn't get the pit.
No, he didn't get the left front on.
Yeah, this has went downhill fast.
You know, Larry, it just never fails. Substitute drivers with a different team and different people, spotters, crew chief, really difficult. And on a track like this where it's so intense.
And a bad day goes worse for Mark Martin.
That was probably a whoa, and he thought he said go.
And now he is being held for pitting outside the box.
Look at this. See the rear tire carrier indexes the wheel. Now it goes to make the adjustment. They're only doing 2 tires. Couldn't quite get it out. That thing sticks down inside the bed panel probably 6 or 8 inches, and so the angle is bad as the truck's moving away from him.
It looked like he tried to put one more turn on it, and when he tried to put that one turn, Brad left Hermie, and he was simply a passenger at that point.
Get it out, hold up, stop.
Kevin Harvick, they wanted to come, they work on the right sides, work their way around to the left. It's 4 tires, Dave.
Audibles being called, shouting on the crew here, but they take the command. Oh, it comes down off the jack. 22 off the jack on the left side, and they're going to lose any time they thought they might gain. A lot of time being lost on pit road right now. They're still trying to get the car off the ground. The crew lifting it, trying desperately to get this car where they can get the jack back under it, lift it back up. They've got the flat jack in there now. And finally, the opportunity to put the left side tires on. Disaster for the 22 on pit road, Alan.
Paul Menard's crew loses a tire. That's Eric Pringle who grabs it, brings it back because that one's got to go on the car. Oftentimes the tire coming off gets away. And there was quite a discussion with the NASCAR officials about running out into the middle of an active pit lane.
All right, I'm going to say it one more time here. If somebody does that again, you will not work for RCR ever again. Unacceptable.
Remember we talked about the 83. As you see, there are the top 5 going through your screen. Let's go back to this pit stop.
Yeah, check this out. He leaves the can laying up on the deck lid. Look at that. How it rolls around, hooks on that spoiler. Unbelievable.
Made one full lap around.
That thing would never do that again.
And that's the way they're supposed to look. So the 83 of Casey Kane back out on the track.
Burton, you mentioned it earlier. It's the little things that you've got to do right. Every pit stop, every time you get on and off pit road, you've got to do it perfectly. They've done the little things right. Now the 18 is out front, Kelly.
An issue for Martin Truex Jr. He immediately said something is wrong, and now Cole Pearn said we have the tires switched. They messed it up on pit road. It's the right front and left front that are switched on the 19 car, so they've had to immediately call him back to pit road. This is a costly mistake for this 19 team, and one of the things that Cole Pearn had been so proud about this pit crew is he said when they make mistakes, they're little. They haven't made any disastrous mistakes. Well, this is going to be a costly one.
Problems for the 22 of Joey Logano. +1 for...
Up. Everybody at once. Put the tire down and lift the car up.
They're not happy right now, as you can tell. Bam. Oh, looks like the jack fell out from underneath the car. And now they can't get it but lifted back up.
Second time they've had problems today. Logano's led the most laps from the pole. 48 circuits out front. Speeding
now
earlier.
They're still stuck on pit road. This is not good. They're in a lot of trouble. They might lose a lap.
Well, the problems continue for the 42 team.
So let's take a look at their pit stop. We see right here he comes in, he stops, and the rear tire carrier right here trips on the air hose, falls, the tire bounces, which that really hadn't slowed him down because the tire changer was struggling to get the lug nuts off. So basically very slow on the right rear. They come around and try to recover, but we just pointed out tenths of a second. Well, these are full seconds. These is about 2.5, 3 seconds slow of a pit stop, so kind of a combination of errors on the back of the 42.
Marty, the first pit stop, they wanted to take 2 tires, but Jamie had run through debris. This time, they're planning on taking only 2. No adjustments to the race car. He gets around Morgan Shepherd. Doc?
Joey Logano in. There'll be 2 tires only for the Toyota driver, and fuel. Remember, they kept telling Joey to save fuel, but he wanted to lead so bad it was hard to do. Below him, the 22 car, Brad Keselowski. He was the only car among the leaders that could not make it on fuel. This caution, a big break for him. Mike.
And Chad Walter and Justin Allgaier opting for track position as well. Fuel only, but nearly a collision off pit road as Allgaier exited.
And you saw the gas can still attached to the 20s trying to shake it off. He does. Now we got that out in the middle of the track. So everybody will have to dodge that. And there'll be a penalty for the 20. And
woof, there's a lot going on down there. So the 20 is going to come to the attention of the crew on pit road.
Now you just reset our conversation about the 5-minute clock. Now Matt Kenseth is on it. He has a full 5 minutes.
Jimmy Johnson, he never got off of it though, right? They didn't run a whole lap, so his clock is still running.
You can have more than 6 guys, okay? You can't have more than 6.
And you heard right there, you can't have more than 6. Remember that penalty I discussed. If you have an extra guy, major penalty.
And it looks as though they may have just had 7 right there. We had mentioned when they were on pit road and they were working on the car, you can't have more than 6 members of the pit crew over the wall. We actually counted it. We saw there were 7. NASCAR has also looked at it. They said that's too many men over the wall.
And the problem with too many men over the wall is during the course of the race, if it happens on a normal pit stop, you just go to the tail end. But when you are on the 5-minute clock, when you are part of the damaged vehicle policy, which the 20 of Matt Kenseth was absolutely on, he was in the accident, that these 7 men right here, that is basically you are done in the event. You have failed the damaged vehicle policy. The 20, no matter the amount of damage, cannot continue. They will go to the garage. They can no longer participate in this race.
And this damaged vehicle policy, it was developed in the offseason.
You heard Kenseth.
Can't race anymore?
That's exactly what it means.
Can't race anymore. Okay.
So
you're telling me we sent 1 too many guys off for you and not have a chance to race for a championship because of that? Is that what you're telling me?
Crew Chief Mike Wheeler hopes they're just 1 adjustment away on this 11 car from being able to battle for the lead. Denny Hamlin has been loose on the left-handers, tight in the rights. They're going to make a wedge adjustment, give them 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel.
And look out, the gun got pulled off of the 11. There is a crazy tire now coming across pit road.
There's equipment everywhere.
Yeah, equipment.
I see at least one gas can that looks broken. So you watch. Brad's trying to leave because he's taking fuel only, so he's trying to get out of there. The jackman drops the jack, but the tire goes away and the gun gets pulled out of his hand.
There were some drivers that came down pit road, and some got tires, and some got fuel, and some had other issues.
Man, that hurt.
Ah, dang! Who put that there?
Why did they put that tire behind me?
Oh, he's yelling at whoever was supposed to hold that tire.
Let's show you what.
All right, guys,
go ahead, Larry.
We talked about Austin Dillon's crew, too many men over the wall. I want you to kind of focus in this area right here. You're going to see a guy that leans across the wall, and he's there to retrieve the tire that comes off. You can see him. He's got the tire right there that he's going to give the left front tire changer. When he comes around and he goes to get this tire, you can see he's trying to reach for it. He's trying to reach for it. Just give it a second here. And he's going to try to reach for this left front tire. And by NASCAR rules, when your hand touches the pit road box, that is too many men over. NASCAR gave us that direction during the offseason. They said if he touches the pits with a foot or a hand, too many men over the wall.